Sinn Féin dismisses any suggestion that dismissing a suggestion is not a denial of bias allegations of criminal activity against our party, which is a mandate and will not be marginalised by political accusations which are clearly orchestrated by British bureaucrats working to an agenda defined by Ian Paisley that must be resisted to further the process of including Ian Paisley in a process of excluding Ian Paisley despite his mandate when he resists our agenda and fails to acknowledge the legitimate concerns of ourselves and others with regard to further moves in the direction of a sustainable and lasting peace through an everlasting peace process on the island of Ireland and its territorial seas within the context without preconditions determined by others, including the media, who must also remember their own responsibility to report responsibly in the absence of evidence before a trial has produced a verdict that will not succeed in criminalising criminals or demonising demons or alienating aliens, because our little green men will take them to their leader, who is not a member of Oakland Ahern but has spoken directly to that organisation which never lies and hereby denies all connection to bias dismissals of alleged allegations involving involvement in fault or default or blame in a game where some names are the same as those in Sinn Féin, which remain resolute in the face of its other face by demanding the rejection of rejectionist demands, to reject its demands, and by urging both governments to focus their efforts on their obligations, which are not preconditions, but which must be delivered before further moves on outstanding matters can be recommended, though not required as part of a solution of conflict resolution within a framework and a time frame and a timework and a frame that must not be photographed and cannot be seen as humiliation or capitulation or legitimising a less than Celtic nation or any similar situation that works to the agenda of those who oppose human rights and inclusion and equality and justice and whiskers and kittens. So of course this community is angry and grumpy and sleepy to learn that Bertie Ahern has questioned our motivations during recent negotiations, though it's not irresponsible to speak of that anger again and again while sitting on a huge pile of guns and explosives, because Republican activists cannot be seen as criminals or spies or gangsters or smugglers or dealers. So the reality is that the reality is subjective, though our objective remains to remove the cause of conflict by conflicting the remaining cause of the movement from building an Ireland of equals and building a Donegal of bungalows in order to drive forward a process of change from robbing post offices and killing policemen to robbing banks without killing anyone. So others must stop undermining the agreement by complaining when we undermine the agreement, because this makes them pawns in the Skircrack conspiracy to reverse the advances Sinn Féin has made on ecotourism abroad and fly tipping at home, but rest assured we'll not be distracted from our goal of republicanism, through tribalism and unity, through division and strength, through joy as we mark the centenary of the founding of our party and the 6 other parties in the United Ireland that has since been partitioned, which is an achievement that will be celebrated by a year of events aimed at boosting recruitment and possibly training with a series of lectures we will not take from others, plus leadership tours to various countries by those who still have their own names on their passports, which will assist others, including the media, to accept our analysis of inevitable victory in the search for compromise on a final settlement or a final solution, should that prove to be necessary in the wake of developments following accusations which clearly meant to discredit our mandate to subvert democracy on behalf of the electorate as the majority party of the minority community and the smaller of Ireland's illegitimate entities, from where we will continue the struggle for justice through freedom from laws and courts and policing and full-price cigarettes and CDs and cocaine, by demanding free housing and childcare and healthcare and pensions and transport and third-level education and free rubbish collection and free rubbish in general. So really it's just as well we come into some money. And by the way, did we mention the Securocrats? That is believed to be the longest Republican sentence since 1998. Thank you.